Welcome back, my dear friends. A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you wherever you are. And this is the DADM 2 course, which is Data Analysis and Decision Making 2 under the NPTEL MOOC series. And as you know, this course is for 12 weeks, spread over 12 weeks. Each week we have 5 lectures, each being for half an hour, and the total duration for the course is in hours it will be 30, and in number of lectures it will be 60. And after each week you have assignments. So, you have already completed the 7 assignments after 7 weeks, and today is the last class for the 8th week. Hopefully, we will wrap up the VIKOR method with the example which we are discussing, and you will be able to solve problems in the VIKOR area. Now, in the last class, which is the last class, which is the one left before that, once we were when we are in the process of wrapping up the 8th week, which is the 39th class. If you remember, we have discussing about the maxima and the minima, and based on the maximum and minima we had these values. So, the maxima was there for each criteria. So, the max. So, let me make a simple color. So, light blue something sort of, and similarly it will be something sort of light pink, a very light one. So, these are positive and negative in a simple sense. Let me make it green. So, it will give the concept of positive value, a very light green. So, these are the maxima and minima, and I have basically drawn them in the chart, where for each criteria if I go along this vertical, this means the overall scaling based on which I will try to compare. Now, it also means that if I consider C1 only the criteria, that means the maximum liking or the disliking I may get, I will not use the word disliking, liking in the positive sense, liking in the less positive sense, is given by this length. Similarly, for C2, but if you see for C3, that means in C3 level we are undecided, trying to basically fathom the liking and not that liking one for C3 based on the fact that we are taking any 2 alternatives at a time, while for C4 the liking disliking distance is less. So, this is the scaled max minus min levels, and we will use that in the denominator for trying to find out for each and every C1, C2, C3, C4. So, we have already have these values. Now, we will do the further calculation. Now, we will find out the norms based on L1 norm and the L infinity norm. These are the 2 ends of the norms of the distance measure. If you remember, I have been mentioning the distance measure time and again. And this I will find out based on the fact that I am going to find it for each and every alternative, combining the criteria. So, let me come to the fact that I will take the alternatives. That means, so it will be the weights. Weights are basically the weights which I have W1 to W n. So, they were W1, W2, W3, W4. So, I will find out the weights in such a way. So, I will divide by the max and the min, which is there in the, I will just highlight this fact. Max min for the first, similarly max min for the first, max min for the first, max min for the first. So, then I will try to utilize the ratio of the maximum to second, 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 second. Similarly, I have a third, 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 third depending on the numbers. So, I will just mark the last but one, n minus 1, n minus 1, n minus 1, n minus 1, when in this case is 3. And finally, I do for n, which is the fourth. Fourth means j is equal to 4, fourth, fourth, fourth. So, the ratios always are the same, which are what I have already found out the difference here. So, let me write down the difference. So, these are the difference which I have, and this 0.6827 is the distance which I have along the C in the vertical axis in the graph. C2 is 0.068. So, 0.06827 for the first one and 0.06882 for the second one are almost the same. And the third one is 0.00116, which is almost 0. So, if you see the graph, it will become more readable that the distance between the max and the min for the third criteria is almost 0. Now, we go to the normalization one. So, what is the normalization one? So, the max minus the corresponding value, that means we go F11, F12, that means I am following the row wise difference. So, it will be the I will write down the values and calculate it. So, multiplied by max minus this divided by, I will use the max minus this. So, it will be easier, max minus the min. So, here what values become fixed? This these values are for the corresponding cells are fixed. So, I will basically find out, then I do go to the second value, which is this multiplied by max max minus F12 divided by max I am taking for now for the second j is equal to 2 minus min of j2 plus 0.25 into maximum for the C31 minus F13 divided by maximum for third means third criteria minus the minimum of third criteria. Finally, okay, this should be this M32. So, I have to put it M32 or else I will not be doing justice. M32, the last value is N33 multiplied by fourth criteria maximum value minus F13, the whole thing divided by maximum for fourth criteria minus the minimum one. So, this is done. Okay. So, I should be, so this is done. So, I have for the first one. So, now if I want to do it for the second one for the L1 norm. So, let me write it L1. So, it will be comma L1 norm and basically be the ith one for the ith alternative, and we will find out similarly n infinity comma ith norm. So, we will find it out. So, now what do we need to fix here? Here this will be fixed. So, first let us fix the values of the weights. So, it will be easier for us to calculate. So, weights are fixed. Now, we also need to finalize and fix the maximum value. I am only fixing the maximum value for the time being. So, this I have missed. So, this maximum value also I fixed. the maximum value is fixed. So, maximum values are fixed. Then now I need to fix the minimum values also. So, minimum values are in the denominator. We will copy it and double check. We need to minimize the this won't be there. And the last is N50. So, this is done. So, I need to copy. So, let me copy it. So, let us check by the cells whether they are right. It is right, this is right, this is right, this is right. So, let us check the values calculated here are matching with the X in the PPT. So, the L11 value for the norm 1 alternative 1 is 0.2943. So, this is 0.2943. Second is 0.6417, which is 6418, which is fine, 0.681, 0.681. So, I am calling these values, remember, sorry, I should highlight it. This is the first, this is for the second, this is for the third, this is for the fourth, this is for the fifth. So, all these values are marked differently. So, let us go again. 0.29432, which is yellow color, which means matching L11. First L is the norm, second L is the alternative. Second one is orange color 0.6418, which is matching 0.64177 for the L1 second alternative. L1 third alternative is 0.68067, which is the green color is matching. The L1 fourth norm fourth alternative is 0.7194, which is matching here, and the last one for the L1 norm fifth alternative is 0.6822, which is matching here. Now, once done, I have found out all the L1 norm values. Now, I go to the what is basically for the L infinity norm, that means I have to find out the maximum. So, I find out, I copy it accordingly and then I basically change it. I will tell you what I am doing. Let me copy it and then make it. So, these values only K L M so these are the values which are fixed. So, I go here, let me change it accordingly. I think I can shift it here, this goes no, I have to do it singly. So, this becomes K, then becomes L, then becomes M, and the last one becomes N. So, this is matching. So, I go to it becomes K, becomes L. Just check the how the cells are moving, that will clear everything. This becomes M and this becomes N. So, the last but one alternative, which is the fourth one, this becomes K, this becomes L, this becomes M, this becomes n. Similarly, the last row for calculating L infinity for the each and every alternative 1 to 5, this becomes k, this becomes L. Now, I should change k, L, M should be there, M, okay, yes, this would be done here, k, L, so k, L, then I go to M, similarly the nth one. So, these are done. So, let me check the values 0.1, I am only check, okay, let me make the color. So, it will be easy for you to. So, it will be first will be orange, then say for example green, then say for example blue, example is red one will come later, orange, green, blue. Let me make this. So, these are the colors which I made. Let me check. So, these values are, if I calculate here 0.29432, 0.64, 68, 71 and infinity values are given. So, this let me double check, I find out the maxima. So, I have to find out the maxima. So, I put max, and for the last cell also I put a, maxima. I have to basically find out the maxima of all the values. So, it will be for the plus, it becomes comma, it becomes a comma, it becomes a comma. Let me put a comma in place of my this plus sign, that will solve all the problem. So, I should take a max also, max done comma, I am going slowly. So, please bear with me, and the last one is comma, here also I put a max, this is for the L infinity norm. So, these are comma, comma, so closing bracket for the maximum, and similarly let me put a maxima here, then remove the plus because we will compare them. So, the values are in L infinity for the ith alternative 1, 2, 3, 4 are given as 0.155, then all values are 0.2. Let us check whether they are there. So, if you see, so the first one is 0.1553 and the rest are all 0.25 as it is, the green color, the light blue color, the red color and the dark blue color. So, the values are maximum. Now, once I have that, I would try to basically find out the maximum, the minimum of this, and I tell you why. So, I will try to find out the max. So, let me write down max of L 1 comma I. I'll write it max value. So, it will be easy. I will put it as P, I will put it as mean as for P, and then I find out the max. So, I will find out the max for this. This means L 1 I, and I find out the min. Similarly, find out the so these are the values. So, let me first plot it. So, whether the min and max are coming out to be same, let me 0.7194, which is 0.17194, which is the green one. Then I have the min is 0.2943, 0.2943. Similarly, for L infinity max, L infinity min, the values are 0.25, 0.1533, which is fine. So, now let us plot these. If I have the N infinity, this is for A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. This is the maximum distances which I can have. Now, if you find out for all the combination of the alternatives, you will find out for A1 the difference between the max and the minimum of the least, while it is maximum for A4. So, when you are trying to compare the combination of all the alternatives for each combination of the criteria based on the alternatives, the ranking changes. And when I so this is one graph, and when I basically plot the max and min one, so it will be basically maximum is also decreasing, but decreasing for these values of all the combinations such a way that for the min one, max min for the levels of 2. So, the blue and the orange one are basically for the L1, L1 and LP. So, what you are checking is that if you check along where the pointer is being hovered, this is the maximum distance we can have for the L1 norm, and this is for the L infinity norm. Depending on the zone, you can choose that how good the bad the criteria decisions are, and then you can basically rank it accordingly to find out how the ranking is done. So, finally, I will take this combination of the weights of the L1 norm and the L infinity norm, put weights accordingly where you want to put. So, V is the weights which is basically 30% and 1 minus will be 70%, based on that you do the ranking and find out the overall score. So, you will basically be doing the ranking based on the fact that you have L1 1, L1 1, that means for each and every things you have the max and the min corresponding to the case where you find out the max min value as 0.71 and 0.94 and 0.29, and the max value being 0.25 and 0.15. So, you make a define out the differences, put the weightages of V and 1 minus V and find out the ranking. With this, I will end the 40th lecture for this, which is basically complete the 8th week for the VIKOR, and for any queries please write on the forum and we will definitely be able to answer that. So, the 8th assignment would be only related to the VIKOR. Have a nice day and thank you very much.